Hello, my friends. Here are the actually four big stories for tonight, and we'll do it very, very quickly. So, you know that Putin was meeting with Kim in South Korea. Turns out, after the agreement where they have a defensive alliance where if either country is attacked, then they'll come to each other's aid. Well, turns out that the South Koreans really don't like that. So South Korea will have no restrictions on helping Ukraine if Russia provides the DPKR or RK, that is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. So they're now going to be supplying, it looks like, weapons to Ukraine if Russia's doing what they think they're doing. And then you see today, North Korea blames U.S. for Ukraine's support and deployment of an aircraft carrier, because an American aircraft carrier will be joining Japan and South Korea in some wargaming out in the Pacific. And it's an open question. We really just don't know whether this was intentional or this was an unforced error on the part of Vladimir Putin. Like, did he mean to do this to tick off the Koreans, to create another hostile zone between North and South Korea, or was it accident while he was just trying to get ammunition? We really just don't know. But Russia failed to make South Korea withhold aid to Ukraine. Putin said this is a really bad idea, don't do it. Here he said, Putin said that would be a very big mistake if South Korea provided Ukraine with lethal weapons. But of course, the South Koreans are looking at it going, what are you thinking? These are our sworn enemies. Okay, second big story. EU creates loophole to circumvent Hungary's veto on support for Ukraine. So the European Union has developed a legal workaround to bypass Hungary's veto, and it's very clever. So Borrell said since Hungary abstained from the previous agreement to postpone revenues from frozen Russian assets, it's not going to be part of the decision to use this money. They're not being part of the process. They don't get to have a say. Everything's kosher. So that's how they've worked it around. Hungary doesn't have to pay, but they don't get a say either. Okay. Hungary, why is it that Hungary is like so tied to Russia? Well, some speculate that it's because they have sympathy for Russia because the Austro-Hungarian Empire was kind of like what the Russian Empire was, and they kind of both pined for that past bygone time. I don't know, I'm psychoanalyzing and I'm out of my depth, but tell me what you think about that. Okay, third big story. The Council of Europe adopts its 14th package of sanctions. Those sanctions are about things like liquefied natural gas, banking, those kind of things. The last package of sanctions really stung the Russians. I don't think this one will have exactly the same bite. Last big story. So Trump, is found guilty on this hush money trial a few weeks back. So he's now a felon. It's an appeal process, but he's a felon. Frank Luntz came out after, I think it was the day after this happened, and was talking about, look, many people believe that it was weaponized, Justice Department was weaponized, but many people also simultaneously even believe that Trump was guilty. But he was guilty, but they weaponized it against their political opponent, but he's guilty, but we don't want to see him prosecuted. But okay, but how is that shaken out? And Frank Luntz's assessment just a couple of days ago was this, that it's astonishing that he's still doing as well as he is, given that he's just been convicted as a felon. Like, this would have sunk any other political candidate. But it is breaking against him, and I've seen things about this before. And here's Karl Rove, who is known as Bush's brain. Karl Rove talking about how the trend since May 30th, guilty verdict, there's movement among independents, and it's the independents that you want to watch. They have moved in recent polls roughly 9 points toward Biden. So apparently the conviction is working and turning people away from Trump. And the people that are turning away that they need most are independents in about 6 different states. And that's all the news that I have today. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes, and thank you for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.